college seniors, and we did write like daily 100 questions daily. Like I was more active, but it helped. 3 of us cleared. We were 5 people in that group. So be sure that you practice n number of questions. Don't take much. I never read medieval history to be true. I just read Spectrum, and for ancient I did R.S. Sharma. For polity, Lakshmikant is nothing better than that. For geography, 6 to 12th NCERT, and make sure you read map book. Every place, every location that you read, you should know where to put it. Every passes, there would be list given in various test series. Make sure you know about those maps and everything. Then there's environment, Shankar, and newspaper. I never read newspapers, so like you could leave that. I read it during mains. Mains, they are very significant in mains, but not for prelims. I did vision and insights for prelims, PT 365, and insights also some consolidated material for prelims. They provide every year, so like go through it. That would be good. Anything like what else do we have?
How did you prepare for GS paper 3 mains?
GS paper 3 mains, I took vision. I had 105 in my first attempt. Which was not a very good score, but it was not bad. So this time what I did was I bought value-added material. I know you were there in 2000. You've been there. You have that bullet, right? So what I did was I made notes of the topics. It does like food security. There's vision ka value-added material on paper 3. Go through it, make notes, and also make diagrams that you will make during the exam. Practice it beforehand. Collect data. I have 10 pages of data. I don't have them right now. I'll Xerox and give it to him. Like so, have those data. 15 pages of data and 10 pages of diagrams. Which I was very sure that anything comes related to food security, I'll make it. Anything comes related to globalization, I'll make it in paper 1. So make sure that every topic that's given in those the syllabus provided by UPSC, you know everything, like you know something to write about it, not 2 pages, you just have a basic idea about it. So Hokep is there. He just asked me to padta to tha nahi, to tera ho kaise gaya. So you should do smart work, you should have data, you should have diagrams, because the question that would come you'd never know. If I write the paper again, I just saw UPSC GS ka paper like 2 days back and I wasn't sure what I had written. So be very sure that if this questions comes, I'll write this, and practice a lot of questions. I had joined vision test series, so make sure you get into the top 50, because I have seen that people who are in the top 50 regularly have made it in the top ranks in the final result as well. So practice as many test papers during GS, during mains. I did vision ka all 25 papers. I had my essay test series from IAS score and PubAd from Lukman. So I did my there. So be sure that every topic that's given, you have some fair idea about it. Value-added material is best for it, vision wala. And then mains 365, always supplement with reports, committees, and everything. So like there was a committee IAS meets big data report, which was released 3 days prior to mains, and I had quoted it. I'd read it and I had quoted it. So I scored very well in paper 2 in first attempt. I scored 100, which was very good in 2016. So that's it. Like, be very sure of the syllabus and what you write. So that would really help. So anything else?
What about ethics?
Ethics, I have my notes. I had prepared notes from in college time. I had prepared in 2000. I passed out in 2015. So I had made notes from. There is a book called Ethics in Public Administration by Patrick J. Sheeran, Ethics for Dummies, and that lexicon. So I had made notes myself. I had not done that examples thing ki khud ke example bana lo kisi. I had just read about Lal Bahadur Shastri and quoted examples from his life throughout. I just picked one personality and made so that I know various snippets from his life, so that I can quote in here, there, and there. I never made examples from my life, which was not asked even this time. So I got lucky there. And like to write, you've written mains, like people would have written mains. So I broke down it like first questions 10 hours, 7 questions in the first hour, 3 from 10 marker, 4 from the 15 marker, then 6 questions in 1 hour from the 15 marker, and then the remaining 7 questions 10 marker in the final hour. Or else I was never able to complete my paper in test series, but I completed during mains this year. So that was it.
About distribution, how you did that?
10 questions, 3 questions from the 10 markers, and 4 questions from the 15 markers in the first hour. Total 7 questions. 7, 6, 7. First hour 7 questions, second hour 6, third hour 7. For those 7 would be 3 and 3 plus 4. 3 from the 10 marker, 4 from the 15 marker, then all the 15 markers remaining, which would be 6, and then all the remaining 7 markers of the 10. So you would write better in your 15 markers, and initially your questions would be well written. First 3 questions, that would make a pata nahi hota hai ki nahi, but examiner would have that idea ki isko kuch aata hai. And I also wrote first question wrong in my GS paper 3, but that doesn't matter, ek aad chalta hai ki matlab kuch aur hi likh diya tha. So that's it. But make sure you have tons of diagrams. I covered like till the last page, I wrote everything. मतलब
In all the
What
papers.
factors you take into consideration while choosing your option?
ऑप्शनल मतलब आई वाज इन कॉलेज बैक देन एंड वाज लाइक पबाड अच्छा चलता है पबाड ले लो तो मैंने ले लिया पबाड लाइक मतलब ऐसा कुछ था नहीं बट इट हैज गिवन मी गुड आई गॉट 300 इन माय फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट एंड पबाड एंड आई स्कोर्ड वेरी लेस इन जीएस एट 417
मोस्टली स्टूडेंट्स का ये क्वेश्चन रहता है आपसे कि अंकुर सर बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ते थे, थोड़ा एकदम हल्के आप ही रहते थे बाहर, तो इसके पीछे क्या कारण है?
Well, I have a speed reader I have very high speed of reading. I'm in the top 10 of Delhi speed reading. So I read very fast. That's it, and also read very smartly. कि मतलब अगर मतलब ज़्यादा सोर्सेज नहीं करने हैं जो मिनिमम से
पहले एक ये भी घर बोले हरियाणा वालों के जुगाड़ ज़्यादा होते हैं ऐसा तो नहीं है?
नहीं तो what you do is like pick a source then revise it almost 10 times. I had vision mains 365 I had revised more than 10 times. उसमें से बहुत कुछ नहीं आया बट यू कुड राइट समथिंग फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग तो वैसा है कि डोंट पिक अप मैनी सोर्सेज जस्ट स्टिक टू सोर्सेज रिवाइज एंड रिवाइज नॉट ट्रू फॉर प्रीलिम्स में बहुत कुछ पढ़ना पड़ता है बट मेंस इज अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम एंड फॉर essay make sure you have stories. I start with stories. In 2016 I had completely messed up my essay, second essay. Completely messed up, because in coaching center what they have infinite space for writing essay. So I had that idea कि पूरा space I'll write, but then the pages got finished in the first essay, so I could not complete my essay. So I just scored 136, but because I had written stories, I scored 136. I would not have done that. I would have scored way lesser than that. I just got through by 8 marks. So that.
Normally it is said that you should not choose a philosophical topic in essay. What do you have to say about this regarding?
But this time there was no choice. You had to choose philosophy. It's very reasonably said because philosophical essay has various dimensions that may be different for you, different for me, different for the examiner. But when you have an essay that has fact-based, like border dispute management, everyone knows we have border disputes with China, Pakistan, Bangladesh. We had some issues. So everyone has an idea about facts. So very rightly said, don't pick philosophical essays if you have a choice. But like this year, if you don't have a choice, then be sure that you have written some philosophical essays. Like GS score wala people, they only gave philosophical essays this year. I was very upset with them, but when I saw the real paper, it had all philosophical essays, so that really helped. So
And please do share your experience with the interview board.
interview board,
Questions you were asked.
I scored 149 in my first attempt. It was Arvind Saxena board, so it was 20th of March. So he asked me like, what day is it? The first question was, what day is it? I said 20th of March. He said कि नहीं significance क्या है? तो we had Sparrow Day. तो वो न्यूज़पेपर्स में था तो आई टोल्ड स्पैरो डे देन दे आस्क्ड मी क्वेश्चंस रिगार्डिंग चाइना की इकोनॉमी आई वाज नॉट वेल प्रिपेयर्ड बिकॉज माय इंटरव्यू वाज ऑन फर्स्ट डे
But you told I don't read newspapers.
इंटरव्यू के दिन तो पढ़ के जाना है यार चारों पेपर पढ़ के जाने उस दिन सारे इंटरव्यू से पहले पढ़ना है आई ऑल्सो सेट कि मेंस के पेपर में पढ़ने हैं न्यूज़पेपर्स क्योंकि मेंस में क्या रहेगा सब लोग पेपर्स छोड़ देंगे मतलब अभी मेरे को याद है 15th FC कमीशन पे इशू चल रहा था तो उसमें एक और पॉइंट आया था मतलब मेंस से जस्ट 4-5 दिन पहले और मेंस में एग्जैक्ट क्वेश्चन था 15th FC का तो मैंने वो पॉइंट लिखा था मतलब ज़रूरी नहीं है पढ़ना नहीं पढ़ता तो भी ठीक है एक ही पॉइंट कम होता पर आई रीड प्रीलिम्स से पहले टाइम नहीं रहता है न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने का कौन सा पढ़ना है कितना पढ़ना है मेंस में रहता है न्यूज़पेपर तो उस दिन तो इंटरव्यू में तो पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है और फिर फर्स्ट डे था तो फिर उन्होंने काफ़ी चाइना की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पॉलिसी में डिफरेंस इंडिया की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पॉलिसी में डिफरेंस ही आस्क्ड मी अबाउट वीवीपैट आई कुडंट आंसर आई वाज नॉट मतलब उस टाइम था नहीं इतना न्यूज़ में देन दे आस्क्ड अबाउट सर क्रीक डिस्प्यूट विच आई आंसर्ड दे आस्क्ड मी अबाउट बॉम्बे आई वर्कड इन बॉम्बे एज वेल तो कि बॉम्बे में और दिल्ली में क्या फ़र्क दिखता है तुमको ये वो and they asked my hobby this time what I did was I also written a book so it's a collection of poetry so I had written a book meanwhile so I put it in my hobbies I write poetry so Smita Nagaraj ma'am was my board this time on 13th of March so she asked me to recite a poetry so I had prepared well on that ground and then the last question she asked was because the questions I couldn't answer questions I'll be very honest कि ढंग से नहीं आंसर दे रहा था but there were 2 questions which I answered very well by the chairperson first was poems this question I had prepared it very well and the last question was she asked me ki you are from Haryana dowry is a big problem there what is dowry so so I waited because this is a question if you wait the other person will speak again so she said कि अगर खाना भी लड़कियां वाले कर रहे हैं तो वो भी डाउरी है वो गाड़ी दे रहे हैं वो तो है ही डाउरी वो टेंट लगा रहे हैं लाइट लगा रहे हैं सब डाउरी है तो इन योर मैरिज टेल मी वन थिंग दैट यू वुड नॉट काउंट एज डाउरी आई जस्ट वांट वन थिंग व्हाट वुड नॉट कॉन्स्टिट्यूट एज डाउरी सो आई थॉट आई सेड द ब्राइड and she was happy she laughed and she said ki मतलब ठीक है. And she then when I was going, then she said कि I want to ask you one question, कि 2 questions in fact, कि first who would have a final say when it comes to dowry in your family, since I'm from Haryana. So I said कि ma'am, कि my parents are very supportive, but when it comes to that, if they, so it would be my final word. So she said give me in writing that it would be your final word. I said ma'am, sure, I'll give you. She didn't take it though. Then the last question she asked was कि एक ही डाउट पूछना, अगर तुमको मॉब मारेगी तो पोएम मत लिखने लग जाना. So it was okay, it was all chill. मतलब I knew that I would get something about 170. The marks have not been out yet, but I think that I'll get a decent score. So this was it. I improved from 149 to something. So you should be very cordial. Depends on the board. Like interview is, I can't say like what worked in my interview, because first interview I thought it was very good, but didn't work out that much. I just got 149, so couldn't help there much. But you have mains in your hands. Like score well in mains, so at least you get in the top 200 somewhere. Even if your interview goes haywire, so you will get in the top 200. But if to be an IAS, you have to score reasonably well in. Unless you are Ayush Sinha, you got 151 and rank 7, so like it is a different person. So that's it.